times, but you won't give up until you pass that exam. You're going to go for interviews several times. You're going to be rejected, but each time they reject you, you return. You're going to set up businesses several times. You're going to make mistakes, but a mistake does not define who you are. And so from primary school, working with a stick, I came to this University of Nigeria and Nsukka. And when I entered this school, life was a hell for me. No money to eat, nothing. And then, to make matters worse, I didn't have a leg to walk with. I was telling my driver that brought me that I used to walk from Six Flags to Akintola Hostel with this stick in my hand. Why? Because I wanted to prove somebody wrong. I knew I might be physically challenged, but that is not who I am. I know that you might not be beautiful according to people's standards, but that's not who you are. I know you might not be as rich as others, but that's not who you are. I know that you might not come from the greatest of families. Young person, that's not who you are. So I came in here, and then I had a terrible experience after I lost my dad. A lecturer, I went to ask him a question in the class, and this man said to me, bring the question to the class. I want everybody to gain from this question. So I came to the class, and he said to me, come and stand in front of the class at the mass communication department at the Faculty of Arts here. So I stood in front of the class, and this man looked at me and said, you asked me a question. I said, let me ask you questions too. He said to me, when you were entering the university, where did you pass? I said, sir, I passed through the university gate. He said, when you were passing, who did you see? I was wondering, what was the need? I said, sir, I saw the transporters, the Okada people. Said yes. Who else? I saw the security people. Yes. Who else? I saw those hawking. He said to me, think very well. Who else did you see? I said, sir, I saw those who were begging. He said, describe them for me. So I described them to him. I said, some of them are blind, some of them are physically challenged. This lecturer pointed me in my face and said to me, that's where people like you stay, at the gate. He said to me, pack your things, go to the gate, sit at the gate and beg. He said to me, you will never become anything. Your place is at the gate. He said to me, look around the class. Is there anybody with a stick in their hand? He said, back. Listen to me, child of God. Young people, listen. Life is not about the container, but the content. Life is not about the container. It's not about how tall you are. It's not about who you think you are. What can you do? What is inside of you? What prophecy are you carrying? What dream are you carrying? Can I share to you? I left this school with a first class. Listen to me, young people. I left this school with a CGPA of 4.86. Listen to me, young people. Today as I stand here, I have a PhD. I am a lecturer and I teach in 2 different schools. I have cars and I drive on my own. I have family, I have a wife and children. Listen, child of God. Nobody is your classmate. You are your own. Nobody should influence you. Hey, young person, listen to me. You are not in competition with anybody. By the special grace of God, I have traveled around the world. The last time I got to UK, I got to London Heathrow Airport with the same stick in my hand. That's something for which they mocked you. That's the same thing God will lay hand on and elevate you. Do not cry. Young person, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. When I got to Heathrow, the white man called me. A church organized a program to train their pastors in London and in Turkey. And they wrote to me and said, come and train our pastors. So when I got to Heathrow, they sent the white man to come pick me. He was carrying a placard with my name, Dr. Kasarachi Innocent. So when he came, I said, hi, my name is Dr. Kasarachi Innocent. He took a step and said, are you sure? Oh, come on. The Bible says in Psalm 126 verse 1, when God turned again our captivity, we were like them that dreamt. He said to me, are you sure? Youth, can I say this to you? As you come to this program today, I don't know whether you have seen me before, but I want to say to you, no man has a right to stop you. Nobody has a right. No circumstance. No background. You cannot allow your background to put your back on the ground. You cannot allow your background to put your back on the ground. Great things grow out of useless places. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Because as I sat here yesterday, I was listening to our brother Tony Elumelu talking. What came to my mind is, this man is doing well. Where are his classmates? Where are they? Where are they? We are all seated together here as youths. In the next 10 years, a natural demarcation will take place. We will not all sit together again in the next 10 years. There will be those on top and those below. But the thing about it is that whatever you become is in your hands. Child of God is in your hands. What do you need to do? Number one, if you need to succeed, you need to believe that you can. Life is not about speed. Life is about focus. If you keep heading where you're heading, you will get there. It's not about who gets there first. It's about who gets there best. Number two, if you need to excel, you need to use your hands. Listen, prayer is good. I believe in being a child of God. But without action, prophecy will fail. Without action, destinies will waste. So you need to begin to act. Find something you can do on your own. When I left this school with a first class, I went to Port Harcourt, and for 2 years I was looking for a job, and I would go, they would call me. And when I appeared, they said, we would have taken you, but because of your leg, we won't take you. And for 2 years I was trying, I was dying. Until one day I said to myself, what makes me a graduate is not the certificate, but it's inside of me. So I decided to act on my own. As you go back from here, find something to do with your hands. Number three, if you want to excel, the next thing you must do, close your ears. Close your ears. There's nothing they've not said to me. One day, I was going to Abuja to take part in Church of Nigerian Writers Conference. I got to the airport, and a man came to me. I was trying to check in. He came to me and said, excuse me, sir. I said, yes. He said, please, we don't allow beggars around here. Can you take your things and move out of the airport? Listen to me. If you know where you're going, you don't respond to everything you hear. It's not everything you hear that you respond to. Manasseh was supposed to be great. There were prophecies on his head, but he never became great. Why? Prophecy without you will not fulfill. Go back. Seal your ears. Number four, the next thing you must do, when you make mistakes, bounce back. You know, when we got to the gate yesterday, I told my brother who is driving me, I said, this is the same gate the man said I'm supposed to end my life as a beggar. But I'm not stopping at the gates. Nobody can stop you if you don't stop yourself. In the next 10 years, I want to ask you a very simple question. Where will you be? Where? Because among us will be general managers. Among us will also be those who are at the gates. Where will you be? What we came for is not a jamboree. The reason the church spent money to bring you is to make sure you don't fail God in your generation. Are you aware that God brought you into your family to rewrite the story of your family with your coming? Are you aware that in your generation, everybody's waiting for you to manifest? I want you to be strong. I want you, even if you have been discouraged before now, just look at me and then listen to my story and then go back and bounce back. Go back and bounce back. Go back and bounce back. Number five and the last one, the G factor. The G factor. Listen to me. It is not by intelligence or wisdom. If the hand of God is not on a man, no, you won't go anywhere. The grace I have, whatever I am today is by grace. It's not by strength. If it's by strength, I wouldn't be talking to you. If it's by strength, I wouldn't be who I am. But by the grace of God. So as you go back as a young person, make a choice to live your life for God. Make a choice. God will give you what your hand cannot give you. Let me share this story as we pray. One day, I was walking with my wife on the road. My wife is not tall. My wife is long, very long. Very, very long. So I was walking with her. And then somebody drove his private car and parked and stopped. And horn, blow horn, pim, 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 pim. So my wife said, Go now, go and check. Now your friends will get car. So I went to him. I said, yes, sir. He said, sorry. Where are you guys going? You and that's your sister. Where are you going? I said, we are going to some place. He said, go and call her. I want to give two of you a lift. So I went back to my wife. And I called her. I said, the man is calling us. So she came. And the man wound down the glass. I said, hi, sweetheart. How are you? Can you enter the front? Let your brother enter the back. Can you give a clap to Jesus? Can you celebrate Jesus for me? Celebrate Jesus for me. Say, can you enter the front? Let your brother enter the back. My wife said, are you crazy? This is my husband. And the man put up the car and said to me, Oga, now your wife? I said, yes. He said, how manage? I said, I don't know how manage, but she's my wife. I don't know how manage. Listen to me, young people. When you live your life for God, God will give you what your hand cannot get for yourself. When you give your life, when you dedicate yourself to the master, God will give you a miracle. How many of you came here